Welcome back everyone. For today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to make these two different piped buttercream flowers for beginners. Following on from our previous tutorial, in total there are now 5 different flowers that I show you how to pipe. We're going to get straight to it, straight to the point, and keep this really simple and very easy. For the buttercream recipe, watch the previous tutorial, which I will leave a link to at the end of this video and also in the description. So this is the piping tip we're going to be using. It is a Wilton 366 piping nozzle. It is quite large. You will see where the pointed tips are at the end. Those are going to be the points that touch the cupcake. I just want to show you the piping bag. So you only want to half fill it. You want a really tight grip at the end, and if your buttercream starts to go soft at any point, simply place this in the fridge. Now to pipe the cupcake, again, the pointed tip wants to be touching the cupcake. So where the really sharp bit is, so that the rest of the buttercream can just gently come out at the sides. And you want to simply squeeze and pull away whilst you stop squeezing, and it will give you this lovely leaf-like shape. I then place this in the fridge just for a short period of time before I add that second layer. Now you're only going to need 2 layers for each cupcake with the yellow, and if you do place it in the fridge, if any of those petals don't look quite right, you can either remove them or simply bend them into shape. Now for the centre, it's very simple. I'm just using a Wilton 18 piping nozzle. If you don't have one of these, you could simply cut the end off a piping bag. It would look slightly different, obviously, but this just adds a little bit more texture. And then being very careful. Now I do have a separate recipe for black buttercream. I will leave a link for that in the description below the video. Simply pipe the centre and that is 1 flower done. So for the other flower, I'm using the Wilton 104. This was used in a previous tutorial. It gets used for an awful lot of flowers. You'll notice it's a teardrop shape. The larger part of that teardrop is the part that touches the cupcake. The thinner part is the one that creates the petal. Again, I have a very tight piping bag. I have only half filled this, and I am choosing to use pink. So to start piping the actual cupcake, you want to start at a 45-degree angle. The larger part again needs to be touching the cupcake, and the thin point on that tip is the part that's creating the petal. I'm going from the outside of the cupcake to the inside. Now in all fairness, this buttercream could have been doing with chilling for a little bit longer. If I had placed this piping bag just in the fridge for a short period of time, then this buttercream and the petals would be an awful lot more defined. I then use a number 2 piping tip in the centre. Now the best part about this, if you don't have a number 2 piping tip, all you need to do is cut off a very small amount off the end of a disposable piping bag, and you will have exactly the same effect as I do here. Again, I'm obviously using black buttercream, and as mentioned, I am going to leave a link for that for you in the description, as I understand it can be quite difficult for some people to make. Now then, the final part is using my favourite piping tip, and this was actually used for the Chrysanthemum in the previous tutorial. It's one of those that can be used on an awful lot of sugar flowers, so a great investment. This is the Wilton number 81, and it is a U shape. So you basically place it on the cupcake as though the U shape is facing upwards, squeeze, and just gently pull away, just so you're going around the black area and filling in those little bits of messy gaps that we have left between the petals made with the 104 and the black made with the number 2. And it really is as simple and as easy as that. Happy baking, everyone.